Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here. This is Great Homes Tampa Bay, coming to you live from Studio B for Beach House. So my house in Shore Acres is still flooded, so coming to you from this temporary location. But I still wanted to make sure to bring you your favorite thing and mine. That's right, real estate market statistics for Hillsborough County. So these statistics are for December 2020. And you might ask yourself, Kyle, it's January. Why are we looking at December numbers? So the reason is because it does take a little time for the local real estate board to put these numbers together, put them in a beautiful document, and then send those out to yours truly. If you would like your own copy of these numbers, you can click the link below to follow along and also maybe gain some additional insight into the real estate market. Now, a few things to understand about these numbers is that they are year over year, not month to month. And the reason why is because the real estate market has a natural ebb and flow over the course of a year. Up north, it's pretty obvious. It follows wintertime, so a lot fewer houses sell in the wintertime. Down here, we really seem to follow the school year. So December and beginning of school and end of school is really kind of the low points of the market. But because of that, it's not a lot of use to compare month to month. So we are comparing December 2020 to December 2019. Now, if you've watched the last few videos, you know that the overarching trend for basically the last 6 to 7 months has been tightening inventory, primarily due to the coronavirus and people electing not to sell their house. That trend has continued through December 2020 and doesn't really seem to be letting up in the least. Honestly, I don't believe there's going to be much change until coronavirus and the pandemic is taken care of in some way, shape, or form, either through it been around long enough for herd immunity, or a vaccine comes out, or something like that. Just some people are not comfortable to sell their home currently. So those are kind of the overarching trends to know. Now let's dive into these numbers. For Hillsborough County for December 2020, total number of closed sales has risen 12.1% to 1,989 units. Median sales price has increased 14.9% from 260,000 to 298,000, and average sales price has gone up 17.5% from 324,000 to 380,000, $656,000. Now, thing to understand with median and average, as you know, you take a set of, let's say, 5 numbers, you add up those 5 numbers, and then divide it by 5, which is the number of numbers. Median is a little bit different. So to arrive at the median price, you take, let's say, 11 numbers, and the median is whatever number is in the middle. So, and it's got to be like one of the numbers. So it would basically be number, what would that be? 6, 5, something like that. I'm sure someone will let me know in the YouTube comments what that should be. Personally, I kind of like the median sales price a little bit better because it does eliminate some of the wilder swings. If, for example, Derek Jeter's house sells, that's definitely going to have a major pull on the average sales price, whereas the median, it all kind of gets ironed out a little bit more. So I usually pay a little bit more attention to the median sales price. Now, total number of new listings that have been put up for sale is actually up 9.2%. And this is a little bit of the light at the end of the tunnel that we have been seeing for the last month or two. And that number is up 9.2% to 1,539. And this is pretty similar to Pinellas County, so that kind of tells me that things are shifting a little bit. So while it is a little good news that a change is happening, the problem is that we've had such buyer demand for the previous 6 months that pin-up demand is rapidly chewing through those new listings that are being put on the market. And that shows up in the total number of active listings, which is down 50.4% from 3,916 to 1,941 homes. I cannot express how crazy that is, that we are literally at half the number of homes for sale compared to December 2019. That is mind-boggling. Real estate usually does not move that fast. But because that inventory is cut so drastically like that, that is why the median sales price is up 15% and the average sales price is up 17%. Like you do not see those are huge gains. Absolutely mind-blowing. To be 100% honest, that is mind-blowing. The other crazy thing I want to share with you here is median time to contracts. I usually don't share this one because it's kind of a nerdy it's kind of a nerdy stat for agents and stuff like that. So what median time to contract is say that you put your house up for sale. How long is it on the market until it goes under contract? So this time last year, that was at 35 days. Currently, we are 71% faster than that, down to 10 days. So the average house, we usually only hang around on the market for 10 days. There are certainly a ton of houses that go under contract in day 1 or day 2. There are not many that go past 20 or 30 days. And usually there's a significant reason why. Either significantly overpriced, or it's got a sinkhole, or some other fun stuff. So 10 days to contract is crazy. For the last few years, that has been anywhere between like 30, 35, 45 days on average, and we are down to 10. That is nuts. Now, I do also like to break these statistics down by price point because let's face it, $1 million house is going to sell a little bit differently than a $100,000 house. To be honest, the marketing is pretty similar. Maybe you put it on a little bit nicer paper for the luxury homes, and you do a little bit more hands-on stuff. But the actual nuts and bolts parts of the transaction are pretty similar. The time frames are mainly the difference because there's a few more people that can buy like a $250,000 home versus a $1 million home. Now, total number of new listings. There's an interesting part about this that I want to show you broken down by price point. So there's basically a cut between right at like $250,000. And so basically if you're looking for a house below $250,000, there are fewer being put up for sale this year compared to last year. And if you're looking for over $250,000, you're going to have more homes to choose from, which sounds good, but personally, the reason I believe the stats show up like this is because the prices have increased so much that basically all of the houses have kind of moved up a bracket. So this time last year, a house that you would have sold for $180,000, you could probably get like $215,000 for it now. So, people are definitely going to sellers are naturally going to try to get as much money for their house, which is completely understandable. So to give you some stats off here, and I'm just going to hit the high points. So no houses under $50,000 listed for sale in the entire county. Crazy. $50,000 to $100,000, there was a total of 10, which was a drop of 52%. $150,000 to $200,000, there was 51.6% fewer houses for a total of 90. And now we hit that cut. $200,000 to $250,000, there was 19% fewer compared to last year for a total of 303. But then $250,000 to $300,000, we saw a 19.5% increase for a total of 337. $300,000 to $400,000, we see a 57.3% increase to 379. So we just looking at these numbers, most houses are between $200,000 and $600,000. That is where, ballpark, I would say 95% of houses for sale, that is the price range that they fall into. Good news, if you're looking for $1 million or more, there was actually 110% more listed this year compared to last year for a total of 59. Now, conversely, if we look at total inventory, what we're going to see is numbers down across the board. There's just fewer houses in every price category across the board. And again, just going to hit the high points here. There were 0 homes less than $50,000. 150 to 200,000, there was 65% fewer homes compared to last year for a total of 117. 200 to 250, there was 68.7% fewer houses. 300 to 400, there was 45.4% fewer homes for a total of 431. 400 to 600,000, there was a total of 337, which was a 38.5% drop. 600 to a million, 40% fewer. And 1 million or more, there was 19.6% fewer for a total of 193. So you can just see that buyer demand just rapidly chewing through those number of new listings. So even though there's more new homes being listed for sale in those price points, they're getting rapidly chewed through, under contract, and sold, which equals reduced overall inventory. So finally, I'd like to go to the doom and gloom page here. So this is going to be short sales, foreclosures, bank-owned properties, and all that good stuff. Now, if you've been paying attention to the news, you will know that there is a bit of a foreclosure / eviction moratorium going on now. Supposedly, it's only supposed to be in cases caused by effects from the pandemic. So if someone is wrecking up the place, supposedly you can get them evicted. Honestly, in practice, it's much more difficult nowadays. Just the courts are backed up, and just stuff is not functioning as smoothly as it usually does. But the thing with this is that is keeping these numbers suppressed, and it's true for all the counties that I've been looking at here. So there's a question mark for how many foreclosed homes, how many evictions are hanging out that would be done if things were going smoothly. I know a lot of landlords that have tenants that just have not been paying. So that does not necessarily translate one-to-one to a foreclosure, but it can. If they require that rent money to make their mortgage payment, then it could result in foreclosure eventually. But it's one of those things, like, we're not going to know until the courts kind of get back to normal. So, and all that to say that these numbers look like a drastic drop, but honestly, take it with a huge grain of salt. So, number of foreclosures and short sales in December 2020 was down 76.6% to 11. Normally, December 2019, there was a total of 47. And then short sales dropped 42.9% from 14 to 8. So we'll just have to wait and see. I would think it would take thousands and thousands of foreclosures to offset that amount of that pent-up buyer demand to see a significant price drop or cooling, at least at current buying rates. I'm not going to say that it's impossible, because it would be my luck that I would say, oh, it's impossible, and then literally 6 months down the road, that's the situation we're in. But the likelihood is low. And honestly, if we have that many foreclosures, we're probably also going to have other significant economic issues that are going to have a much stronger impact on immediate buyer demand and seller supply as well. Okay, so this is the information that you're not going to get anywhere else. So you can certainly find those real estate statistics elsewhere, but honestly, even the MLS is not putting these numbers together and comparing them. So if you've been watching these videos for a while, you'll know what this is already. For those of you that have not watched the previous videos, what this spreadsheet is basically comparing, and this is for both counties, both Pinellas and Hillsborough. So it's comparing the total number of homes listed on a daily basis to the same day last year. Now, I started keeping track of this in the pandemic because I needed to see immediately what fluctuations were happening in the market so that I could accurately position both my buyers with their offers as well as my sellers to be able to get them the best price possible. So I have to manually go into the MLS and pull these numbers for every day. So, for example, for Saturday, January 16th, there was a total of 196 homes listed for sale. And then we compare that to last year and 2 years ago. So whenever the pandemic hit, I basically saw an immediate drop of about 50%. And subsequently, those numbers have rebounded a little bit. So this is the total number. This is since the pandemic has started. So you can see we're down overall 10% for total number of new listings. At the peak, we were down about 40% for that time frame. That was a few months ago. I also keep a rolling 7-day and a 2-week comparison here. So you can see that compared to last year, on the 2-week scale, we're actually up 4.17%, which is pretty good. Not phenomenal, but pretty good. Last month, we were actually up a bit more. So this current time period, first couple weeks of 2021, we're actually slowed down a little bit. But compared to 2 years ago, we are also significantly down, 14%. Now, year over year, for the last probably 6 years, we've been seeing shrinking inventory year over year of, 5, 6, 7%. So this is definitely exacerbated a little bit, but it does tell me that sellers are kind of coming back to the table, and they're a little bit more comfortable with reaching out and putting their home up for sale. So overall, good news. So again, not going to get this information anywhere else because trust me, I've tried to find an easier way to pull this, and manual is still the best way to do it so far as I've been able to find. So. But overall, some relatively good numbers. This doesn't really contradict anything in the main report, but it just gives you a little bit more fine-grained daily detail in what's going on here. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment down below. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in to these real estate market statistics. If you would like your own copy of this beautiful real estate statistics report, follow that link down below, sign up. I will make sure you get a copy of those every month. Also, if you have any questions about real estate, if you have been entertaining the idea of selling your property, maybe you're wondering what to do to get your house sales ready, please feel free to reach out to me below. There's a contact link down there where you can book a phone call or send me an email, whatever you want to do. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'm actually going to be running a giveaway of a Yeti, one of these guys, with my real estate team logo on it. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Be sure to subscribe to this channel or keep your eye on your email for that. Other than that, my name is Kyle Sasser. I'm with Keller Williams St. Petersburg. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. Hope you're doing well. Hope you and your family are well. And other than that, I'll talk to you soon.